You know, I think generally students are really good people and do good things, and I just think there are circumstances that, you know, create, it's hard to talk about it with any level of specificity, but I think that all children have strengths and challenges in their lives, and they work through them the very best they can, and we want to be there to support them through all of those. And social media certainly maybe makes it more available to know. I'm not sure. I haven't done that research around the level of was it there before, is it not. What we know today is that it is an important part of the work that we do as school district leaders, and we're committed to doing it and doing it well.
Text to tip, how long has that been around? Was that created after Sandy Hook? And could you just talk about other instances in which people came forward using text to tip?
Text-to-tip has been around before Sandy Hook. I don't know the exact year. I'm sure we could look it up. But both text-to-tip and safe-to-tell are available to our staff, students, community, etc. And it's an important part of allowing students and others to feel safe sharing really important information with the school district and with law enforcement. And I can't speak to the individual circumstances of it, but I can tell you that this year we have had around 240 combined text-to-tip and safe-to-tell reports.
Liz, how confident do you feel in the safety of Mount Vista right now?
I feel very confident in the safety of Mount Vista right now regarding this particular circumstance.
Has this changed your perspective going forward in how you handle things, or have you learned things from this, or it's just kind of one of these things where you'll take it and continue doing what you're doing? What are your thoughts on that?
Obviously, we take every single situation and reflect back on what worked well and what we could do better, and we'll do the same here, but my initial reaction would be that many things worked very well, and we're very proud of the people and the situations around this circumstance because those systems and things worked very well, and we're always going to look for what else can we do? What's that next thing? How can we handle this better? But the disruption to this threat is a good thing, and we're glad for that.
Was this threat something to the level of Sandy Hook or Columbine?
I can't speak to any of the details of that.
I don't know if this is something you can't speak to on this, but are both suspects, are they students at the school, or is one from outside the district, or can you speak at all?
I believe the Sheriff's Office release did say that there are 2 juvenile females, Mountain Vista High School students.
Both of them.
Can you, without speaking to the investigation, can you speak of how imminent the threat was?
I can't say anything really detailed, but what I can tell you is when law enforcement deems a threat credible, there is obviously a lot of investigation and information that goes into that decision, and a credible threat, in my view, is a serious threat.
Liz, there's been some confusion about the dates. Can you just clarify for us? So the text-to-tip came in on Saturday, and supposedly the threat was made for this week. Is that correct?
Those are both correct. The text-to-tip came in on Saturday, and the intent to harm students and/or staff at Mount Vista High School was intended for this week.
And there were specific students and staff targeted, or was it a blanket?
I can't speak to that.
There's a bit of a delay with getting the note out to parents, and when the tip that it came in, the plot was spoiled. Is there a reason for the delay?
I wouldn't actually call it a delay. The reality is when you're working through these circumstances, you know, when you get information on a Saturday, obviously everyone goes immediately to work, but there is some time that is required to really understand exactly the facts, and then to understand exactly what facts can be shared and when. And so we always want to share as much as we are able as soon as we can, and this is not different. We worked very hard to put together everything that we were able to share and share it as quickly as we did. And it never seems fast enough in a security matter. There's just no question about that, but we're committed to move it along as quickly as we're able, and in this scenario, that was exactly as quickly as we were able.
You know, there's criticism yesterday or this morning that, you know, LA County overreacted to a threat. I mean, how do we know that this is an overreaction to what might be just a simple, I don't know, kids talking? I mean, what makes this different?
Well, what makes it different is that you have professional law enforcement investigators deeming it a credible threat with ample evidence to do so and pretty significant pending charges that I think speak for themselves.
Liz, earlier you mentioned that the collaboration with law enforcement created a sense of community. Do you believe that that led to someone texting this tip in and feeling comfortable about telling people about this?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. It would be pure speculation on my part, but I certainly believe that having our law enforcement partners in and around our schools as often as we do because of our officers in the lot, our school marshals, our SROs, all of those incredible folks, I think our students do feel very comfortable approaching them if necessary. And the other thing is, I think, you know, Douglas County, we have incredible students in our district, highly involved parents. We're very fortunate, and I believe that our students understand that they have a role in the safety and the sort of group that they would like to have in their school, the way that their school culture and climate works. They understand that they have a role in that today because of past events and because we have so many tools available to them to do that. I think all of that comes together to bring us the disruption that we were able to have.
Are the 2 student suspects just expelled now? What's the status? What happens to them?
I can't speak to their disciplinary records or anything like that, but what I can say is that they are in police custody.
Any indication or red flags prior to the threat?
I couldn't speak to that. Yeah, sorry.
What do you have to say to the person who texted that tip in?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of things I'd like to say to them because, you know, they took what would feel like a risk as a teenager of sharing some very important information with adults, and as a result of that decision, they made a huge difference in the lives of a lot of people, very positive difference in the lives of a lot of people.
How much does it disappoint you that we're even here talking about this? This is the new climate that we're having to deal with, that you're having to deal with in leading this district.
You know, it's unfortunate for sure that we have circumstances like this one and like others in education. But the reality is that we will accept what we're faced with, and we will do as good of a job as we possibly can to keep all of our staff and students safe. And that's where we are, and we're going to, you know, do all that we can to make the best of it, if you will, and make sure that it has the outcome that we want for our staff and students.